The Dads That Game radio podcast is brought to you by Video Games Monthly. Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service that delivers retro video games to gamers who own classic gaming systems from the 1980s through 2000s. And the best part is, you keep the games. Check us out at videogamesmonthly.com.
Live from his wife's basement, still gaming into their elder years. This is the Dads That Game radio podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Wolf and William Small.
We interrupt your political coverage, yay midterms, bleh, to bring you the Dads That Game radio podcast, and I stand on these promises. I promise to be a dad. I promise to bring you radio news about video games every single week until I shut down the show. That is my promise to you, America, and surrounding countries.
All right.
I'd be a great politician.
Good. You would be, except that you need to lie more.
Well, if you've been a fan of the show, that's no secret.
I mean, that is kind of like what we do.
Yeah,
we don't often tell the truth.
Well, I mean, I would say we tell more truth about stories that we uncover, but yeah, there are a lot of lies about things that we've done on the show.
Yeah.
So, like going to BlizzCon for one. Hey, by the way, we have a BlizzCon story.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Funny how I brought that up.
Probably glad you didn't go this time.
Here's the deal, and we're gonna get into it in the show. I promise. This year, I felt the same way last year as well. BlizzCon is becoming kind of an annual joke for game announcements. It really is.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing new unless you're a World of Warcraft fan. All the other games are kind of suffering. Like they're basically on the back seat.
Yeah, they just don't care.
Here's the thing, though. Esports, though, unfreaking believable. Just ungodly how cool this stuff is. And I mean, if you're not an esports fan, I could totally understand. I'm an esports fan, though. I love every second of watching esports at BlizzCon. So I would say that's the main reason like I watch BlizzCon is the esports. So I love it. It's just fantastic. But let's get into the show, because dear God, do we have a lot to talk about today? Like a lot to talk about. And that's not me just, blowing smoke and, then we fill in here for 20 minutes of just nonsense. We actually do have a lot to talk about today. So let's talk about it. So obviously this is show 126. Please check us out, www.noobsandpros.com. Just click on the Dads That Game. We're right at the top there, just waiting for you to leave us a message. Still waiting.
Just go ahead and do it.
Oh, good news. Somebody. I don't have to buy the $100 edition of Red Dead. We didn't hit 1,000 followers. Thanks, America. I don't know if I was happy or sad. Mostly sad. Yeah. Mostly sad. Yeah. But what are you going to do? But also check us out Thursday nights, Podcast Radio Network. Please support the Podcast Radio Network. You can download their apps, the Crikey app or the TuneIn app. Crikey, you can just tune it to 102.6, and then the Podcast Radio Network. I'm sorry, and then the TuneIn app, you can search for the Podcast Radio Network. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're there.
We are.
Just throwing that out there.
Yep. It's a place where you can find us.
Pretty much, yeah. Other places as well. The other thing I wanted to tell you as well is thank you, Player One Coffee. Go to playeronecoffee.com, type in code Dads the Game for checkout. You can get 5% off your order if you're a first-time user of theirs. And if you like coffee and video games, they're going to be right up your alley. Let's talk about Game of the Week. Red Dead Redemption 2 again. I'm not going to get super far into it like we did last time, because, I mean, obviously, I've still been playing it, you've still been playing it.
Yep.
The stuff that I've been able to find in this game, just brilliant. Except the only thing that kind of ticks me off, and this was really kind of weird that Rockstar made this decision, you cannot find any escorts. There's no way to do it.
None.
No way to do it.
You even go to like the brothels, like where there's women all there. That's what they're there for.
And
but
they
you
will,
cannot.
Yeah, they will hit on you. but you cannot
you
respawn
can't- yeah,
back
you
into
can't
a
do
way.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unreal.
Maybe it's going to be for the online component. I don't know.
I don't know. That was
I don't know.
that was the one weird decision that I thought they just came out, and I was just like, really? It was like this. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, especially like in modern times that
Mm-hmm.
depending upon where in the world you live or live, it's frowned upon.
Right.
But back then, like there were brothels like in every town,
Mm-hmm.
always, because that's what the cowboys had to do.
well,
You know
but
what I mean,
the funny part is actually if you I understand we live in a sexually oppressed world. Trust me, I do. But if you go back to this time frame, brothels were the reason that states were formed. And it's sad but true, because brothels basically, when they you can call them cowboys. All they did was herd cattle, pretty much is all they did.
Yeah.
But they would go in the town. They wanted to spend their money. They spent it at brothels, where you could drink and you could gamble and you could basically get a lady escort. These lady escorts, they took the money that they earned and they invested it in the town. So they invested it in schools. They invested it in just everything that the town would need, such as and basically even if you go back further, like Wyoming. Why Wyoming was the first state that allowed women the right to vote. This was the reason why, is because women were actually the reason Wyoming basically became a state, because of brothels like this. So anything in the West like that. So if you want to, I know everybody has their reservations, and I know religion has a lot to do with that, but I'm not going to get into that. But historically, you need brothels, and people need to be able to, make some love. I guess is a nice way to say it. Get down and dirty. Just saying. I love the game though. It's just so well done. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just the secrets in it are great. So this is obviously week 2. We're calling it our game of the week. The reason I'm calling it the game of the week, because I tried a couple demos this week, and I want to talk about them before we go into weekend release. So here's the deal. Obviously BlizzCon this week. The one cool thing that BlizzCon actually did do is they've been talking about this forever, and I'll go over this when we go over the kind of the side notes of what happened at BlizzCon. They announced World of Warcraft, the new patch, and what's going to happen, but they also announced more information about World of Warcraft Classic. The cool thing that they did this year is obviously if you go to BlizzCon, you can try all these demos, and they have tons and tons of things at BlizzCon. Just the massive. They fill up the whole Anaheim arena. So just massive. I mean, I think they compared it to, it was like 31 football fields worth of stuff. So that's how big this thing is. But the cool thing that they did as well was the virtual ticket holders, aka me, got to play the demo of World of Warcraft Classic.
Yes.
I have to laugh because the game is extremely well done. Okay, so I'm not going to knock it. But it brought back so many feelings of frustration because I could not. They put a very limited timer on it. Okay, so like you could only play. Yeah, you could only, when BlizzCon was going on, you could only play an hour at a time. And then you basically have to wait 5 minutes, and then you could log back in and then play another hour if you wanted to. Very well done. It's upscaled into a fact to where you can actually use the higher resolution on it. So the game looked beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
It still reminded me of exactly how World of Warcraft was done originally. So just fantastic. The big thing was though is the grind is real. How it was like.
I mean, it was a hardcore. Like back then, I remember.
Yeah.
What was the original? Was it the level cap 50 or 60 originally? It was something like.
Originally, I think it was 60. Yeah, it was 60.
So,
yeah.
I remember the grind between like 55 and 60 was legit.
Unreal.
Like you could take like 2 days worth of playing, and I mean when I say 2 days, I mean like a good 8 to 10 hours total of your life, and you'd only have leveled once in that time. In that time for that and that was just crazy.
And to give you my example, I played an hour and I only get 3 quests done. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is how you get sucked in, because look, people love that grind. They do. And that's great, but I don't have time to do this long ass grind. And I started thinking back. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, when the expansions started coming out, I was like, I would take off a week of work just to grind out 10 more levels and see all this new stuff. And I was like, holy Jesus. I was like, this is a reason that I was like, I'm kind of happy that, like, you know, I met my wife and she's like, hey, you know, me or World of Warcraft, I chose wisely. But it's just like, oh my God. I was like, I don't have patience for this anymore. And I used to. But I was like, dear Lord. I mean, it's the most fantastic grind you'll ever do. Because the world's, you know, the world is amazing. The characters are amazing. Learning how to play your character is amazing. But I don't have time for it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I just don't have time for it anymore.
And you know what they did with the battle for Azeroth? Yeah. They made a great new iteration of that. You know, and I mean, it's really fun again, and I like it. And I like the character I made and everything. But again, I just don't have time for that.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, as cool as it is, I personally, maybe someone in their early 20s who doesn't have a lot of responsibilities or whatever, they can just, you know, go crazy on it, but AKA, I can't.
Like we used to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like when you're young, like you have all that time, and, you know, it doesn't matter what you're doing. So, you know, that's different.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just not there.
I'm not going to hate the game. I think the game is amazing. It looks fresh and crisp, and it looks great. They also put the one thing that they never did in the original, but they actually left this part in. They left the mechanic in to where it compares gear for you. So it tells you, like, if you choose this piece of armor, you're going to lose, like, you know, you're going to lose X amount of spell power, or you're going to gain this amount of agility. They never did that in the original. The original was like, you have to calculate it in your head. You have to figure out exactly.
You have to figure it out all on your own.
All on your own. They left that part in. So that was actually pretty cool that they did that, which I think they should. So, especially with today's generation. But I mean, it was just great though. I mean, they left the old UI scale in there. They left the, you know, the macro ability in there. So just really, really pretty. And I chose a undead warlock, and they put me in Durotar, which was weird. They didn't start me in the undead city.
Interesting.
They start you at like level 15, and I was in Durotar. So I mean, just vast fields. But I mean, and then you can change the scaling of, you know, the clutter on the ground. I turned it all the way up to actually see, you know, holy crap, there's grass everywhere. You know, it's not just a flat, you know, land of nothing. So just really, it was really cool to play. So just really fantastic to play. I was really glad that they gave us the opportunity to play the demo. So if you've ever played World of Warcraft, or if you remember it from 16 years ago, this game's gonna be right up your alley. We'll talk more about it when we go over BlizzCon. We got a whole segment about BlizzCon, and then I have a whole segment for our main topic today about the main topic today is I've entitled it "We Need to Talk About Diablo." We really do. So your dads are going to have a talk about Diablo with you today. Probably not the talk you want to hear, but we'll get there. The other demo that I tried this week, I got into the beta. I know a lot of people were kind of iffy about getting into the beta. I got into the beta. I played Fallout 76. Here's the deal. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. And it made me playing the demo actually made me cancel my pre-order. So, because I was super excited to see, you know, the ideas that Fallout 76 offers you, such as basically the ability to play with friends and things like that. But then I started talking to my friends, and none of my friends are getting it. So where does that leave me again? Alone in an empty universe.
Yeah, in a world where it's just you by yourself.
Right. So, just it's a Fallout game. Okay, so I feel like they kind of still took the best ideas from Fallout 4 and left them in this game. So the crafting system is still the same. The combat system is pretty much still the same. The UI has been updated. The map has been updated. The enemies, obviously, you know, graphics, everything like that, it's been updated. Looks beautiful. Beautiful map. Cannot complain about it. But it is, I would say, honestly, without the unplayable NPCs, man, that is a lonely universe. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It is lonely. It's a lonely game. I mean, there's enemies still everywhere. I mean, you still fight, you know, people that have been infected, and, you know, they still have mutated monsters and, you know, people out there trying to kill you, which the mutated monsters now have guns, which was actually kind of fun. When you're like, who the hell is shooting at me? Like, oh, it's that dude over there. A lot of fun, but it really just kind of, it was lonely. that's all I have to say. Like, I don't have friends to play with, and I was just lonely. Like, if this was, let's say this was a Destiny-esque game, and I had a team of people that I could count on to be there, every other day, or when I was getting on, I could just jump in a group and I could play. A lot of people do. This game is going to be right up your alley. So if you have a group of people that are, committed to, let's go build a base together, let's do this together, let's survive together, you're probably going to enjoy this game quite a bit. But for people like me who are really casual about gaming sometimes because I just don't have time to do it, because it's work, family, and then if I have time, video games. I don't know what's going to happen. You could probably find yourself a group of casual gamers. Me and Will, that's how we met. We were part of a group of casual gamers. But it's really kind of hard a lot of times because it's like when you want a game and people aren't on, that's no fun for you. So, and that's kind of where we both been burned a lot of the times. Yeah. And I would say that's kind of why the group we had in Destiny 2 kind of fell apart. It's because we kind of got tired of people never being there. So it's hard to be a casual gamer sometimes in a game like this where it kind of demands that you do more than just casual gaming. So that's my opinion. Like I said, I'm not here to downplay it at all. I think it's going to be a brilliant game. I think it looks fantastic. I'm not even putting anything past that. It just looks fantastic. Yeah. But it's, like I said, with the no NPCs.
That's the thing. Just how great can something look to make you go, I want to keep playing this because it looks nice.
Right. So, it's only going to go so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't put it down. If you take anything away from me saying my piece about this, I cannot put it down. It's not for me. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not in a place where it's like, I have so many other games that I really, I'm super into like single player stories right now. And I think a lot of people are. Because it's like we have Red Dead, we have Spider-Man, we have all these other games that have had these amazing single player stories. And it's like Red Dead's going to have multiplayer, aspects, which I'm excited for. That sounds exciting. It just, I don't know. I'm kind of on a different path in life right now, which is weird, but I change my mind. Like I change my shoes sometimes. Like seriously, like I would say every 6 months to a year, I just get tired of something and I just want to try something new. So yeah, it just happens. It's life. But I would say if you pre-ordered, tell me how you feel. Leave me a comment on our message board. Send us an email. Leave us a tweet. Whatever you want to do. Let us know how you feel about the game if you tried the beta. The beta, that is. Like I said, I'm not unimpressed by it. I would say without the NPCs, I'm not jazzed. It's a
pretty world, but you're going to be bored after a week of playing alone.
It was just kind of cool to be in this world. And like, if you kind of take it like this aspect, like think about like if you were a lone survivor and you were finding other people and you were finding what was left after this huge apocalypse. If you take that mindset into it, you may have a good time, but that's only going to last so far. So, like I said, I don't know, but it's just not for me. That's all I'll say for now.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it as is. But moving on, let's talk about other games that you can get yourself this week. We're in that time of the year again, Will, where big ticket of items have already shown their head.
Wonderful time.
Yeah, you can just hey, no, bad. No,
I meant like Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, exactly. You heathenistic bastard. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We don't start talking about Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Not until at least after Thanksgiving.
Until
I'm with you.
after
I was just messing with
Thanksgiving. How dare you?
I am one of those people that I love Christmas, love it, but I refuse the people that are like, oh, November 1st, it's time to start playing the music. No.
Pretty much.
You have to get past, get past Thanksgiving. It can be the day after Thanksgiving and we can start.
Here's the thing, though, and I'm going to tell a side story just because I am knowledgeable. Thanksgiving is the most crap holiday that we ever celebrate. It's just like Columbus Day. Like, seriously.
Well, yeah, but there's
no proof that ever happened, except for the proof that basically, like, pilgrims hired it was an Inuit tribe that hired a group of pilgrims to kill another tribe for them, and then they ate a meal together. That's Thanksgiving. Sad but true.
All right.
Yeah.
Still a meal. I mean, sometimes when you're eating the meal of Thanksgiving, you want to. You're like, I want to murder all of you here.
Maybe that's. I just thought of this. Maybe that is the exact reason why. When you go to Thanksgiving dinner, you're like, I hate my whole family, and I want to murder you all.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, but you're like, I'm too full and too sleepy to actually harm anybody.
And the game's on. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you at Christmas. Yep. All right. All right, but let's talk about games. These games actually came out today because today is Tuesday, the 6th. We're kind of back on a regular schedule for recording, except for Christmas. We'll have to talk about that. I think Christmas is on a Tuesday this year. Ooh, we could record on Christmas. No, probably not.
No, I mean, maybe, but I doubt it.
No, I think we'll probably record the Sunday before. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see where you're at. I'm going on a trip, so we'll see. I'm going to Minnesota. I figured Iowa wasn't cold enough, so I'm going to go someplace even colder.
Go to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going to go north. I'm like, you know what? It's 20 below. I think I need to go where it's 40 below. Yeah. Minnesota. Oh, that sounds wonderful. All right. So these games came out today. You can get yourself Nicopara Volume 1, PlayStation 4. Here's a game that's getting a lot of buzz. This just came out as of today. I've kind of been reading reviews and kind of checking it out, kind of getting average reviews, and I hear that this game is chapter based. So, and I hear that all the chapters won't be available until June of 2019. So you might want to just maybe pump the brakes on this one. I don't know. If you're really excited or a really huge fan of the show or the comic, maybe right up your alley. It looks cool. I just don't know right now. But Overkill's The Walking Dead, out on PlayStation 4. It's out on Steam, too, as of today.
I really, really wanted to be excited because not much had been said about it, but it's a co-op. It's an online co-op game. Sure. That bothers me.
Yeah.
Why can't we just have a good... I mean, it's fine. There can be, like a multiplayer component.
Sure.
But why does it have to be the typical,
open world.
Let's just all get together and try to survive this. We're going to build up our base and try to survive this, like, the piles of undead.
Right.
That's not really what that world is about. And it bothers me that that's where it is. Because I didn't think, like, from the trailer originally, I thought finally we were going to get a cool game in that universe that wasn't a Telltale game.
Sure. Maybe.
Because those games are great.
Yeah. No, and I hear you, and I felt the same way, too, about maybe there being a cool single-player game. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, I guess. But the other game you can get as well, this is out on Nintendo Switch, the Shape-Shifting Detective. Ooh, Shape-Shifting Detective. That's just fun to say.
Shape-Shifting Detective.
Yeah, that's just fun to say. You don't even know.
Shrippy, slappy.
And you're done. You can also get yourself Rogue Legacy on Nintendo Switch. Full Metal Furies on Nintendo Switch. Ooh, what's that game about? Let's read. I have no idea. All right. Brawlhalla on Nintendo Switch. Brawlhalla has been out before.
Brawlhalla is a fun game.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
I have it on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's coming over Nintendo Switch, so fantastic.
It's like it's 100% just a what do you call it? The Nintendo game that everybody loves.
Yeah. Super Smash Brothers. Yeah.
It's like a Super Smash Brothers. It's exactly like a clone of that.
I played it. It's a fun game. It is.
It's got cool characters. I think like they're fun, but it's just
is what it is. You can also get yourself Carnival Games. Carnival Games has been out on PlayStation 4. This one's coming out on Nintendo Switch. You can also get yourself Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 on Nintendo Switch.
All right.
Grip on Nintendo Switch. That has been on PlayStation 4 before. I'm gonna butcher this. Oh my god, it's not even a Japanese name. It's like French. Deracine, Deracine, Deracine.
I don't honestly. With this one, I can't help you. I don't know.
Deracine. That's on PlayStation VR. So whatever. And then also the last game, World of Final Fantasy, out on Nintendo Switch today. So fantastic. And then the last one out today. Sorry, I said the last one was out today. Last game out today, and then we'll start, afresh tomorrow. But Omen of Sorrow on PlayStation 4. That actually looks pretty cool. That's a fighting game. So Any fighting game fans out there? I hope so. But starting tomorrow, you can get yourself Duru on Nintendo Switch. The Walking Vegetables. Oh, God, please let that be a zombie game about vegetables. No fat chance. That is actually out on the 8th. Also on the 8th, you can get yourself Mechanica on Nintendo Switch. Ooh, I read that right. You can get yourself Astbreed on Nintendo Switch. Varian on Nintendo Switch. Timber Tennis on Nintendo Switch. That is interesting. It's basically lumberjacks playing tennis. I'm not kidding. Yeah, that's on Switch. Skyforce Anniversary on Nintendo Switch. This is the reason I hate Nintendo Switch sometimes. They get so many independent games. It is ridiculous. And some of them are fantastic, but there are so many of them. It is
just so much inundated.
Yeah, it's just not even funny sometimes. And then you're some Joe Schmo idiot like me trying to read all these names. Just saying. You can get yourself Skyforce Anniversary on Nintendo Switch, Rage and Peace on Nintendo Switch, Battlezone on Nintendo Switch, Mercenaries, Wings, The False Phoenix on Nintendo Switch, Night Slashers. Guess which one that one's on? Go ahead, guess.
Atari?
No, Nintendo Switch. It's a good guess, though. Breakthrough, Nintendo Switch. Cube Creator DX on Nintendo Switch. Crashlands on Nintendo Switch. Valiant Hearts, The Great War. That is a cool game, if you ever played that one. That's been on like Steam, PS4, Xbox. It's coming over Nintendo Switch. Townsmen on Nintendo. Actually, that was it for the 8th. Starting on the 9th, you can get yourself Townsmen on Nintendo Switch. Nor Chronicles, City of Crime on Nintendo Switch. That has been on PS4 before, so that is a puzzle game. Interesting. You can get yourself Cabela's The Hunt Championship on Nintendo Switch. Interesting thing about that, too. Nintendo Switch actually has a gun now that you can put your Joy-Cons into. So
yeah,
I wonder if that would be compatible with that game. So, yeah, it's interesting. And actually, did I say Townsmen starts on the 9th, and then everything else was on the 9th as well? I'm sorry if I didn't. So Townsmen, City of Crime, Cabela's The Hunt Championship on the 9th. Tetris Effect, which is a brand new game on VR. How do you play Tetris in VR? What the hell?
Know.
Seriously.
It's just even more stressful.
Oh, Jesus! So, that was my impersonation of a guy playing VR, getting attacked by Trianimo. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Moonlighter on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. I guess this had such a huge demand to make a sequel. I knew they were making a sequel. I just don't know why. But NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. The first one did so well, apparently. It was like riddled with controller bugs, and it was hard to shoot the ball, and it was a cool game. I mean, it did remind me.
Make more.
Well, it did remind me of NBA Jam, but it wasn't fun because of the mechanics of the shooting. So unless they've gone back recently, I haven't played it forever. I mean, it kind of turned me off from the first time I played it. So I don't know.
You know, a game we reported about, I think like a week or two ago, that I was in GameStop, and I got to tell you, it made me just want to buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Was that Starlink game?
Oh, sure.
The shooter, or like, the space one.
Yeah.
So we were there, and I didn't necessarily want the game, but the ships are awesome.
Yeah.
Like the actual toys, like they're really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I am really like almost willing to spend money to buy a ship just to put on my shelf.
Right.
Not even for the game, just for the sake of having one of the ships.
Right. No, I'm saying
cool
they are cool. I will agree with you on that one. But then also you can get yourself 1111 Memories Retold on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
Cartoony Cars 2 on PC. Wow, even more cartoonier than ever. That joke catching on you? No?
They're
okay, we're moving on. They're cartoonists. Right. That's it. Here's the deal, guys and girls. There's honestly, for the rest of the year, maybe a handful or two, probably two. Maybe I would say there's probably enough games to last you for the rest of the year that you could probably count on probably on both hands. Let's just say that. So for the next couple, obviously, shows up until the new year, probably up until March, you'll start seeing a lot of independent titles. So we'll probably... Well, I mean, we usually sometimes we'll find an independent game and just fall in love with it. We've done that many times. I would say the last game that we really fell in love with was what was it, West of Loathing?
Yes. Oh my God, that game was amazing.
That game is just really amazing. So I mean, don't shoot us, obviously, because we're not announcing AAA titles. There'll be a lot of great indie titles coming up, but I'm just giving you fair warning now that we are at that point of the year to where it's going to be far and few between. You'll start seeing a crap load of sales, which I'm actually pretty excited for. That a lot of the stuff like, Steam sales coming up, and then you'll see, obviously Black Friday sales, which Xbox has already announced their Black Friday sales. So it'll be pretty cool to see. That's pretty much going to be the focus, is all I'm saying. Because a lot of the stuff is wrapping up. We'll have the Video Game Awards coming up. I think that, we're done with conventions, aren't we? Or Gamescom's done. Japanese Game Show's done. BlizzCon's done. Yeah, I think, the trade shows are over. It'll be award season soon. So, yeah, we'll see. But hang with us. I promise you we will do our best to bring you the best content we can. And we'll just be our wacky selves in between, pretty much. But it is November. Obviously, it's November 6th. So that means, new video games for free. Well, not new video games, but free video games. How about that? You like free stuff? Kind of. I mean, I hate calling it free because ultimately you are paying for it. But PlayStation Plus owners, holders that is, you can get yourself, this month, Bulletstorm, Full Clip Edition, which is a fantastic game if you've never played it. And the remaster, the remaster was really cool how they did that. And then another fantastic game as well, Yakuza Kiwami. So if you're a fan of the Yakuza series at all, I don't know, they've only made like 37 of those games, probably.
Right.
So I feel like every other year they come out with a new one. It's worse than Assassin's Creed sometimes. It's a cool game, though. I mean, it's basically, if you like the, it's like the Yakuza. So, I mean, like the gangs of Japan and things like that. So, very cool game if you like it. But with Xbox Games with Gold, you can get yourself Battlefield 1? Yeah, right now, up until November 1st. And then starting November 16th, you can get yourself Race the Sun. And then I don't normally do this because we really got tired of doing this with the back catalog games. But Xbox 360, they're going to allow you to have Dante's Inferno on the 16th as well. And that game was amazing if you never played it. So it's honestly, it holds up well for its time. So I would say if you never tried that one, might not be a bad idea to go grab it. But I did want to start off the show with, we already started off the show. That was stupid to say. I want to start off the main part of the show today with our news, with talking about BlizzCon. Now, I will admit, I was not there physically, but I was a virtual ticket holder. Okay, I got a lot of cool in-game stuff. I got Hearthstone stuff, Overwatch stuff, World of Warcraft stuff. I got Diablo things. Got some really cool, pets and card backs and just really, really neat things. Like I said, not a huge year. Once again, it's not a huge year for announcements from Blizzard. I don't know what they're doing anymore. Like, honestly. Like, every time I think something amazing is going to happen and it's going to blow us away, it's like, meh, you could have a new mobile game. Meh. Which is going to be our main topic today. We're going to talk about, I'll just throw it out there right now. They announced a new mobile game called Diablo Immortal. I'm not going to go into any details about it, though, until the end of the show, because I really want to say my 2 cents about it. Because I am not the only one that is just terribly, terribly upset about this.
Almost offended. Like,
pretty big slap in the face. Like, really big slap in the face. A lot of people feeling that way. But they talked about, obviously, Heroes of the Storm, which is really kind of cool how they're taking the direction of Heroes of the Storm. Because they announced that they're going to bring in their first original character. So it's actually not a character that has been in any other game. It's an original character in this game. And they said they're really going to just kind of explore more direction towards doing that. So it's slowly basically becoming Dota, which it's a Dota game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the girl that they introduced, her name is Orphea. She was born in the Nexus. actually, if you went to BlizzCon or if you were a virtual ticket holder, she's going to be free. So you're going to get her regardless, which is bonus for me. The other thing that they announced about Heroes of the Storm as well, I don't think they're going to revamp the system that they have going like they did, what was it, a year ago? When they like rebuilt Heroes of the Storm from the original thing.
Yeah, they did like all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, like they re-updated just how it was played and everything like that. They did talk about they are going to tweak character still. Like they are going to change Sylvanas. They're going to make her more powerful because they really don't like her to be like a lane pusher. They see her more as like a melee assassin. So they're going to tweak her. I've noticed a lot of changes as well, like in just the characters that I play on an everyday basis. So they've changed like Sergeant Hammer. They've changed, they've changed a handful of them. So it's kind of like playing the game all over again if you've been away for a while. But in 2019, they said they're bringing just more of everything. So there's going to be new skins, new mounts. I'm sure we'll see some new maps. So it's just really cool that they haven't given up on this game. They've really just kind of pushing, and they've really kind of, still trying to make it relevant, still trying to make it cool, still trying to bring you new stuff, really supporting the game like they should be. So, but it's just really cool to see that. They also announced in Overwatch, which was really cool to see, that the 29th hero added to the roster is a lady called Ashe, and she's the leader of the Deadlock gang, for anybody familiar with that gang. She has a robot named Bob, which was really cool to see, and actually her ultimate is Bob. So it's actually really cool. Go check out videos if you haven't seen it. I did post a lot of stuff on Twitter, so if you want to go to our Twitter page, you can see all this stuff. They talked about World of Warcraft. They talked about new updates coming. We saw a new cinematic with what's his name? I don't even know. The son, I guess. But he freed the orc guy that could have killed him, and he basically was talking about Sylvanas, and he was like, are you going to be able to stop her? He's like, no. He's like, I can't do it alone. And then he opened the door and let that orc guy out. I don't remember their names. I'm sorry. I haven't played World of Warcraft forever. So, but they did say that the new update is actually going to be available summer of 2019. No, I'm sorry. World of Warcraft Classic summer of 19. This update, I don't know a date on as of yet. They just said it's coming. So we'll see. But then to stay on the Warcraft train, the train of Warcraft, that is, Warcraft 3, which we've announced this before because we looked at the job listings that Blizzard was posting. What was this back? Maybe, I don't know, was it a year ago?
Yeah, we knew something was coming. We knew.
So, but they finally announced that they're remaking Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. They're calling it Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos Reforged. It will be available next year. You can pre-purchase it now. If you pre-purchase it now, there's it's not terribly priced. It's like $29.99 for the regular game, and then they have a deluxe version, which is $39.99. If you purchase the deluxe version, you get a ton of in-game stuff for all your other games. So not a bad deal. Looks amazing though, because they were showing they pretty much remodeled every single character model into a 3D model. Which if you haven't seen the video of that, go check it out. You can find it on YouTube or wherever. But really cool how they rebuilt all those characters from like 2D into 3D characters, which it blew my mind. And I'm super excited because I played the hell out of Warcraft 3. Like that was my jam. And honestly, oh god, yeah. Me and my buddy Rich, like we used to play it all the time. We used to have a Discord server or TeamSpeak or whatever you use. Yeah,
TeamSpeak or whatever it was.
We used we
used Ventrilo, but that was my
I understand, but that's like World of Warcraft days. Like before even that though, me and my buddy had the corner on that stuff. Like I wish we would have invented TeamSpeak or Ventrilo or Discord or whatever you use. Because what we used to do is we used to call each other, because it was back in the days when you can have unlimited minutes on your cell phone. We used to call each other on each other's cell phones, put in the headset, and then we would talk about our strategies back and forth. We had a TeamSpeak before TeamSpeak was a thing.
Yeah, and you made your own. Yep.
Right. So I'm just saying, but we used to play the hell out of that game. And honestly, if you look at that game too, that's the game because they had a Defense of the Ancients game made by fans. That is where Dota comes from. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. Because I remember we were actually laughing about that the other day because we're like, you remember that game? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, remember how big of assholes people were? Because anytime you get into a server and you hadn't downloaded the latest version, they just kick you right out. They want to let you download it. Yep. So yeah, a lot of fun. So
me, it was more. I was a StarCraft person.
We were too. We played StarCraft. We played Diablo. We played Warcraft. But I mean, we used to do
Diablo.
Yeah, we used to have LAN parties all the time and play StarCraft all night. Oh my god, all night. So a lot of fun. But just Warcraft 3. God, I love that game. That was just, I think, any real time strategy games that I can think of, like that's like top of my list. Warcraft 3. So I loved it to death. And then the fun part of the night is they announced Diablo Immortal. But like I said, I'm not going to go into too many details about that until the end of the show. So please just hang out until we get to that part. I promise you, it's well worth the wait because oh god, what a train wreck. I do love a good train wreck at conventions. Like when I watch E3 and I'm just like, oh please. And it's happened a lot. Not like the Michael Bay train wreck, but I would say pretty close to it. Yeah, I would say. You remember when that happened, when Michael Bay got up there and he asked him a question and he didn't really know the answer, and he's just like and then he just walks off the stage like, okay, let's cut to some footage here. But yeah, but like I said, I had a lot of fun watching BlizzCon. The main reason I had fun watching BlizzCon, two reasons. One is that they're continuing this partnership with Lego and Kellogg's, and the stuff that they have coming out. Like starting next month, you can get yourself Lucio's from Overwatch, the breakfast cereal, and then starting next year, they have a partnership with Lego and Nerf, and they were showing the toys, and they look amazing. So definitely something that I'm like really, really excited to actually own starting next year. So we'll see how that goes. But the other thing, too, I want to talk about, and this hasn't been done ever, and it finally happened this year. And what I'm talking about is StarCraft, and I'm talking about a Korean not winning the World Championship this year. It has been 20 years of these championships. A Korean has walked away with a World Championship. This year?
Every time, not this year.
Not this year. There was a kid, his name was Cyril, and he was from Finland. And he only lost 2 matches in this whole damn tournament. And I'm not kidding. 2 matches, that's it. He won every single other game. He played the championship kid, the Protoss. He plays Protoss. He whipped his ass in 4 rounds flat. They played best of 7 and just whipped his ass. He played Dark, which is the StarCraft Zerg champion, one of the best Zerg champions in the world. Whipped his ass in 3 rounds. Just this kid is amazing, and he's from Finland. So there you go. Just so I would say, if you don't think anything is possible, keep chasing those dreams, kids. Because if you work hard enough, you could do whatever you want to do. It blew my mind that in 20 years of these championships going on, Koreans have won the last 20 years up until now, which it kills me. And I was watching this final match too, and he was up 3-0, and they were playing best of 7. He had to win one more match, and he lost it because the other guy who was playing Protoss, got him with a really cool move. But then the 5th game that they were playing, he went totally old school. He started building the broodlings, the slow flyers that throw those little things on the ground. Started building mass broodlings, and then StarCraft has longer range unit that can take that out, like Protoss now has it. So the guy started building a couple of those. So then he started building those units that actually pull those units in, and then you can just destroy them. And then he started building carriers. So it was just the most fantastic last match that I've ever saw. He just wiped through all his carriers, wiped through his whole base, destroyed his economy, and then he won the whole thing. It was just magical. So it was just really, really cool to watch. But I would say, honestly, like, that's the reason I watch BlizzCon 90% of the time. Because, like, 10% of the time, I'm like, ooh, maybe they'll have something new. And then just total, like, letdown. But then the esports never, ever disappoints. It is exciting to watch. Even if you're not a fan of some of those games, like, it is just exciting to watch these kids play. Because they are masters at these craps. Like, they have whole armies up. In the time that it would take me, I was like, this kid's already at, like, stage 3 of his base building. I was like, it would take me an hour to get to that point. And they were there in like 15 minutes. That's either I'm a horrible player at StarCraft or these kids are just that good. I'm probably guessing both, but
probably both.
Yeah. Just a little bit of both. But they also announced, this week too, if you missed it, Diablo 3, the Switch, the version, obviously it just came out on the Switch. It's getting a freaking Loot Goblin amiibo. It's going to be exclusive to GameStop. It's going to run $15.99. You can pre-order it now. But the thing's adorable, though. So
it is pretty cool looking.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of happy that they're doing, more in partnership with Switch. Bungie was there at BlizzCon. They announced that for anybody who has a Battle.net, just an account, if you have a Battle.net account, might be time to go start one, Will. I'm just saying, if you don't have one already.
Oh, I have one. Of course I do. How else have I been playing WoW?
Magic. I don't know.
I'm playing WoW through Magic the Gathering.
No, but here's the deal. If you have a Battle.net account, if you log into Battle.net right now, you can get yourself a copy of Destiny 2 on Battle.net, absolutely free, up until November 18th. Absolutely free. So if you're a Battle.net holder, you want to try out Destiny on the PC, which is really pretty, because if you upscale that from anything on the PlayStation or Xbox, it runs smoother, it looks a lot prettier, a lot of fun. So
yeah, but I won't have all my stuff.
I understand, but maybe it's time to start new. Just saying.
But I have all of the stuff and the things.
I'm just saying. So all your copies of your Chatter White, you can't leave them behind.
Yeah, I can't transfer those over.
You don't understand, Mike. I have Chatter White. I have things, okay?
Nobody else in Destiny 2 has Chatter White, right. Just me.
Exactly. That's what was that comedian that was like, why do girls always stay in horrible relationships? Like, they're always trying to tell their best friend. You don't understand, Jessica.
You don't know him.
Yeah,
like
you don't.
No,
it's not even that. It's like, I have stuff over at his house. I left my CDs there. I can't get those CDs back. I'll just stay with him. So, like, just dumb reasons why you can't go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But just really, like I said, it just really mediocre. I mean, you were talking about me the other day, and you're like, "Woo, fun!" BlizzCon, and I was like, "Yes and no," because I was like, "Yes, it was great for the esports competition was healthy, competition was amazing to watch." For announcements, though, big stinker. Just
big old pile of poo.
I honestly, and we'll talk about this today with our main topic with Diablo. I'm really scared that Diablo Blizzard as a whole, I think they've been tainted by Activision. I honestly don't think they know what gamers want anymore.
No.
I really don't.
I think that the fact that they have like $1 billion and they just don't give a crap.
They just don't. I don't know what point. I don't know where the breaking point is to where you're grateful for every fan you have, and then you just get so much money, you're just like, F you. You'll play what we want you to play. So it's also called the EA method. Ha! Gotcha, EA. Ha ha. It's just really sad to see, though, and I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that they don't feel that way about their fans, and like, oh, you guys are just gonna play whatever because you give us millions of dollars. So we'll see. But to non-related Blizzard news, I promise we'll get back into Blizzard news. I promise. But it was announced this week that Medieval?
Medieval, yeah.
It has been announced for PlayStation 4 in 2019. It's been completely remastered. I've seen the videos. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks great.
It does.
I'm so excited to play.
Yeah, it's gonna have 4K support too, which is really cool.
Yep.
So no word on the date as of yet. So hang in there. We'll get there. The other cool thing about PlayStation right now is that if you're a big fan of Red Dead Redemption, I know we are. If you go to the PlayStation Store right now, you can get the dynamic theme for Red Dead Redemption 2 free of charge. All you have to do is download it. So go grab that today. The one negative story that I wanted to read about PlayStation, which really kind of ticked me off. It really did, because I've held on to this for so long. but I've been reading that there's going to be a patch coming out. It's called the Patch Killer. It's going to kill your ability to play PT even if it's installed, and it's going to leave it unplayable. Man, they are really.
Someone showed it. Other people can't recreate it, but someone showed it like after the patch that they somehow got, but other people haven't. God. That when they did it, it made it so that it said this game, you no longer have there's like a licensing issue or something.
Great.
And it says that because of the license issue, you can't play the game.
Man.
So that's lame, but hey, one more like Konami just taking the dagger and twisting it, going, "Yep, screw all of you."
Another reason why, honestly, I'll probably never support Konami again. Like, honestly,
it just really, I don't want to say that they're like bad or whatever, but honestly,
I'll say it. They're bad. Yeah, they're bad.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're not an EA. They're not like that. They just. Whatever crap that happened between them and Kojima, no one really knows. Sure. And I mean, it is what it is. But still, the crap that they have pulled is just not okay.
Well, and I kind of feel like this bad behavior is coming from a lot of video game companies. And it's really hurtful, because it's like, I thought video game companies wanted us to buy their video games and support their community, but apparently not. They just want money, and then when they get enough money, they're like, "F you! You're gonna play what we say you're gonna play.
We want you to play.
Yeah, we're gonna give you the system that we think you want." And then when we pull back, they're like, "Whoa, what happened, guys? I thought we were having fun." No, we're not having fun with you being dicks. Stop being a dick. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Just stop it.
Yeah, just stop it. It's like, honestly, it's probably the scariest game out there in the world. And it's like, oh, no, you can't play it anymore because we don't have this partnership anymore. Who cares? You never sold it in the first place. Just let it be.
Yeah.
So, God, unreal. Speaking also of PlayStation Classic, it was just announced as of, I think it was yesterday. But with the PlayStation Classic coming out on December 3rd, the PlayStation Universe has decided to basically compile a list of PlayStation 1 classic titles available to download on your PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, and PlayStation Vita through the PlayStation Network. So if you still own those old systems, you can actually get those through the network, and you don't have to miss out on the older library if you can't grab yourself a PlayStation Classic. Cool, I guess, but I don't care. I already got a PlayStation Classic, so sucks to be you. The other story I want to go over as well, two more stories, and then I'll get into our main topic today. We'll talk about Diablo 3. Fortnite has announced a partnership with the NFL. So now I think it's available today. Don't hold me to that. I think it is. But they said that you can now wear your team's colors on the battlefield with Fortnite NFL skins. So Fortnite teamed up with the NFL to bring you the football-themed skins and gear to play in the Battle Royale game on Friday. Oh, it's Friday. So there you go. Friday, November 9th. You can head to Fortnite Item Shop after 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and Saturday, November 10th at 12 a.m. General Mountain Time. And download the customizable NFL skin, plus an additional skin for a Fortnite-themed team. NFL.com reports that players only need to buy the skin once. After that, they can switch between the 32 NFL teams and further customize the outfit by picking a jersey number from 1 to 99. So very cool. And then this actually just came out today, so this is breaking news for anybody listening, but Titanfall 3 will be coming out next year.
Very exciting.
It's happening, yeah. So this came from EA CEO Andrew Wilson. He stated, "We have new projects underway, which are 3 new titles, including a new Star Wars title, new Titanfall game, and an unnamed VR title." So very, very cool. I'm actually very excited to hear that. But let's get into the main topic. I know I've been talking about this the whole show, but I had to save it to the end because it's going to be a brutal attack against Blizzard. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So BlizzCon was supposed to be it's a celebration of everything Blizzard, for its fans. But this year is really going down as one of the most negatively received projects Blizzard's ever announced. It was insane. So after recent teases of the new Diablo projects that were in the works, that we've been bringing you stories about for weeks, we were naturally hoping for a 4th entry into the legendary hack and slash, series. There was even some reports, like even that they were going to be remaking Diablo 2, maybe see Diablo 4. No. What they announced was a game called Diablo Immortal, which is a mobile. So this is going to be Android and iOS. Massively multiplayer online action RPG, or MMORPG. Fun. Yeah, no. So it's produced together with Chinese developer NetEase. Diablo Immortal was going to bring Diablo's addictive, tiered, and true formula to the masses on mobile platforms. I guess this Nintendo Switch really wasn't considered a mobile platform, huh? Yeah, no, I guess not. Yeah, okay. So, but it's gonna. The cool thing about the story that actually I did enjoy hearing that they could do. I just hate that they're putting it on the phone. They're gonna basically set the universe between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. It would basically be the story of what happened between those 2 points in times, where like Tyrael destroyed the World Stone. And kind of what happened, in the meantime, like what happened with Deckard Cain, what happened with all these other, people that the demons and stuff like that. Really, really just pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
This has been
good cause.
Yeah, correct. The thing I don't understand is Blizzard. I know they make, console games now, but they have always been first and foremost a PC game company.
Yep.
You just slapped your whole fan base in the damn face by basically saying, oh, well, this is going to be on mobile phones only. There was even fans at the Q&A sessions. One fan came up and said, is this going to ever come to PC? And what he was met with a response with, no, we only have plans to, put this on mobile platforms, Android and iOS. The crowd booed him. And then his response was, do you guys not have phones? Really, I kind of felt like we're arrogant. We're just going to do what we want to do. You can obviously hear this is just a small group of people booing you. The online presence of this has gone viral like no other. Their stock has dropped, and there was another fan of the crowd that was actually hailed as a hero because he's
the red shirt guy.
He straight up asked him. He said, "Hey, is this an out of season April Fool's joke?" And he was like, "No." It was funny to watch the lead developer guy, just squirm. It made me laugh. Because I love those awkward moments when you're like, "Oh God, I didn't think this was gonna go so bad." Just unreal what a big slap in the face this was. The other thing that's going to be even a bigger slap in the face, this is not true, but it's unconfirmed. They didn't say they're not doing it, but there was a story on Kotaku that basically ran a story that indicated that Diablo 4 announcement was actually going to be announced at BlizzCon, but was pulled in the 11th hour. Blizzard said that wasn't true. But they didn't. Of
course, it's true.
Well, but they never denied that Diablo 4 was not being made.
Right. I mean, they keep saying, yes, we have multiple Diablo projects in the works. I think they're just trying to save face by not admitting that, we were originally going to quietly announce Diablo 4.
Sure.
But I mean, they just don't have anything
to show
for it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, well, I get it. You don't have much, so much as even
I wouldn't even care if there was nothing developed
or whatever.
Right? Like I would not even care if the game had not even touched, met the writer's desk. But if you would have made a cinematic, just dark and then flames and the sign of a 4 and then something laughing, people would have lost their goddamn minds.
You know what? It didn't even need to go that far.
Sure.
When Metroid Prime. When a Nintendo announced that, it was literally just the words.
Sure.
And that made people go crazy.
Freaking crazy.
Because it just tells people what they want to hear. Yes, it's coming. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're working on it.
Right.
We're acknowledging that this is happening. They have so far, all they've done is tell people, we don't give a shit about you or the thing that you really like.
But
we just want to make money.
Here's the biggest slap in the face, though. Okay, and this will piss you off right here. So the company that they've partnered with, NetEase, okay, they had a game called Crusaders of Light.
Mm-hmm.
Never came out. Then they partnered with Diablo. and the game looks exactly like Crusaders of Light, but with skin Diablo skins. So they've already, and the funny part was, Blizzard never even denied this fact. So they just read a statement stating, we're working with NetEase, with their developers, their art directors, and things like that. Never any denial that no, this is a true independent game made by our development team and things like that. No, it's not. This is already a done game that was done by NetEase, reskinned for Diablo and repackaged.
They just took Diablo stuff and slapped it over it.
Unfreaking real. I'm gonna send him a message this time. I'm not buying it. I'm not in. Even if it's free, I'm not downloading it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you any satisfaction for what you've done to this beloved series. I'm sorry. You may think this is a good idea. This is a shit idea. I'm sorry. It is a shit idea.
You know what's a good idea? Me, paying for it one more time, which I did.
Yeah.
I'm playing Diablo 3 on my Switch.
And it's fantastic.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It's freaking great.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play the Necromancer because I just never bought the DLC on my PS4.
Yeah.
And now that I'm doing it here, this game is wonderful. The Necromancer is great. It gave you the cool stuff. I didn't bother to go with Ganon because I was afraid if I did that, you couldn't take it off.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But it gives you all the wings and everything. So my Necromancer's crazy looking. He's got these crazy bone wings, and
I have that
awesome.
On the PC. Yeah.
It's like they gave you all kinds of stuff right off the bat, in your inventory, just to kind of make you look a little bit cooler.
Well, I'll let you talk about this next week because we got to get out of here.
Yeah, that's all good.
I hate you right now, Blizzard. Look, I love to hate you right now because I love your games. You've always made some amazing games, but this is a horrible idea, and you gotta know that.
Terrible.
You gotta know that. I mean, words speak for themselves.
I think they know, and they feel really dumb about having this be their big thing.
I hope they do. They deserve to. This is not a big announcement. This is a shit announcement. I'm sorry to cuss so much, but I am very passionate about this. This is crap. This is a big steaming pile of crap. So we got to get out of here, though. We do love you. We'll see what happens this week. We'll see if it gets canceled or if they make an apology statement, but we'll see. But we do love you. Thank you to everybody that supports us, Podcast Radio Network, Noobs and Pros, Player One Coffee, and Video Games Monthly. So check us out, www.noobsandpros.com. Thursday nights on the Podcast Radio Network, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We have to go. So thank you for listening, and we hope to hear from you on our message boards. So please keep in contact with us, and we will answer you back. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Dads That Game radio podcast. Email us your questions and hate mail to dadsthatgamepodcast@gmail.com.